So that is more or less our seating position. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining us. On today's episode, I am gonna tackle installing the race seat and basically getting this puppy prepped for the roll cage installation. Stay with us. Alright, so first things first, I need to get the seat mounted onto the brackets. Now I'm just going to pick a position. There she blows. Okay, so it looks like it's going to fit right. What I want to do is get the height sorted out. So we're going to make a bracket that'll fit it pretty much like that. Whoop. Oh, the seat is tight. Can actually go forward a bit. It's about as far forward as that will be able to go. So all of this is important. Otherwise, just get someone to build it for you. It's a bit of a stretch, but when we go forward the extra 10 mils on the slots, we'll be fine. So that is more or less our seating position. So what I needed to identify is, in terms of the bracket, how much space do we have here? Is this bracket gonna foul with the mounting point on the bottom base bracket? It looks like all is going to be okay. This should work well. From there, I went to my local hardware to pick up some supplies and get some steel. I ended up using what they had in stock, which was a 40 by 3mm flat bar. If you want to see some more of this kind of content, please consider subscribing. Just click on the subscribe button, hit the bell, and you're good to go. Alright, so for making the bracket, we are going to use this 40 by 5mm flat bar. I'm just going to arc weld it. It's going to be a very simple bracket, but it works really well in these situations. It's kind of what I have in the BMW. So I'm going to go ahead, pull that seat out, take the measurements, and we're going to start to make this thing. Come on, man. Every time. We need to basically measure out the holes and drill them. Let's go. Come on. There we go. That should give me 350. If I measure the centers from that line, 350, which is what the bolt centers are. Make sure 350 in the car. Correct. That's correct, Wendy.
That's correct, Wendy.
Now, I am not a fabricator's bumhole, but I can kind of get the job done. So, please, take what I'm doing with a pinch of salt. I'm not an expert. I just kind of get by. Does it look right? Does it make sense? Use your brain. Doesn't make sense. Right, there's the bolts. The rails are going to go on the inside, so that should be fine. So we always first drill a pilot hole. That'll do. Then we need a slightly bigger drill. What's that? So we'd normally drill a bit bigger than 10. This is like an 11. So we'll drill an 11 just to give ourselves some space, wiggle room. Slightly bigger. So this is about a 6 or an 8 rather. That is blunt. A good rule of thumb is the smaller the drill, the higher the speed. Right, here comes the big boy. Lower the speed on the drill, which increases the torque. So now we just continue with the rest of the holes, and then I can put it in, and then we'll be ready to measure up the other bits. Let's go! So after you have drilled your hole, you either take a larger drill or a countersunk bit, and you just clean up the burrs. There we go. There we go. Now I must just do the back one, and then we can do the cross pieces. So, we've got the rear one made up. So you will see that this rear bracket is obviously not straight. It doesn't matter because the seat rails will go across like that. So let's get the seat mounted in its center position, then we can mark where these pieces must go. That's about the center position. Let's mark the center of the holes rather. There's the center of the hole. There's the center of the hole. Awesome. Okay, so this piece of steel I made a mistake with. It's fine, I cut a new piece. Always buy more steel than you need. So there's the center line of the holes in the bracket. For the seat, we need the center of this flat bar to be in the center of that line. So the bolt holes go through the middle kind of thing. So at the back, at the front, all that good stuff. Then we will need another piece to go at the back here. This will not overlap like that. At the back, this is going to be flush. So that's front, and center. There we go. Like a glove. Like a glove. We will weld it outside the car, but I need to get the thing together at least. Hello? Ah. Don't have a CO2 welder. I just have this arc welder, which is a very good welding machine. Woo. Get the glasses when you are tripping off the flux. Okay, so when you do this, you don't want to weld too much in one area. You want to kind of spread the heat so it doesn't distort too much. So let's go. So that it doesn't distort too much. That's a good weld. That's a medium weld. That's an average weld. That's a cock weld. I mean, I'm not a fabricator, but not bad. At least we got penetration. We got a good full weld. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're getting somewhere. Alrighty. I'm gonna try and get this thing as far forward as possible. So now we know where the position is. Those birds in South Africa. Well, shit. The trick is getting the bolts in once this frickin' bracket and once the seat is in. Woo. Cool. Like a glove. Like a glove. I'm just gonna drill it in situ. I'm just gonna drill it in situ. Yes, I know. Loud noises. Pucker up, buttercup. I love talking to myself. And we're not gonna tighten it down too much. We are just, ooh. Get you some of that. These are just for pre-assembly purposes. This is not final assembly. Final assembly, we'll use washers and we will use nylock nuts. Otherwise, the stuff comes off, especially in a race car. In a race car, the vibrations, the harmonic frequencies going through the car are so insane that the stuff just comes off. Is the purpose to get the seat in for the roll cage? Why? Pucker up, buttercup. There's the socket. Sweet. Oh, look at that. Probably have to go up a bit. That is awesome. Do I really start? Yes, seat is in. Whew, man, that took a while. If you don't have the means to do this yourself, ask the guy who's doing the roll cage to fit it for you. What it will mean is that you need to be there for the fitment and the placement in terms of where the hoops go over, where the crossbar goes, and you know, the center hoop and the cross. I'm talking about these side impact bars. So yeah, I just did it myself because I can, and I saved a bit of money. So what now? Now we have to tackle the sound dampening. Whew, long and tedious process. It's probably going to be a bit of a squeeze in between the door and the seat for the cage, but those door panels are coming out anyway. Alright, so we are going to get after this sound dampening, and this is probably going to be a big job. So I'm getting the feeling the dry ice method would have been better. Can't say that that is the best method. I'm gonna go at this for a little bit and see how far I get. What I might do is just do the sections that are super difficult to get to with the cage in. Then we might try a different approach with the dry ice after it comes back from the cage. So let's see how we get on. Alright, so I am going to abandon this method. There's just way too much smoke, and I don't know, I suspect this smoke is toxic. So no, I'm not going to do that. It's just this fan that I have. This fan that I have is just too small, so yeah, it's just getting way too smoky in there. I'm not super comfortable with what's happening here, so I'm going to can it, which is a bit of a challenge because we're going to battle. We're really going to battle to get in here once the cage is in. But okay, we'll figure that out. So from here now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on a bunch of these small little brackets. Cut those out. There's a few over there. See if I can get these two bad boys off and just try taking some more weight out of the car. So I'm going to have to manhandle it. Metal fatigue. Whoa, it's about 1 kilo, worth it. Gonna do the other side, and then I'm gonna tackle these little brackets. Definitely worth doing. It's a lot of manual labor, but again, it's free, so Okay, I've been at this for a while. I'm getting tired. I've gone through 2 batteries on the Makita angle grinder, but I've gone through a lot of brackets. So here's the technique I use for a lot of these. These are spot welded in. This is quite a small, flimsy one. So in this case, what we do, we just try and break, basically material fatigue the weld. Some of them it's harder than the others. You saw on that side one. There we go. And then I'll just go over the welds with the grinder, clean it up. Alright, I've done what I can do for today. There's a couple things I'm going to attack a bit later on, but I'll do that off camera. Here is a bunch of trash that we're getting rid of. That bracket, and there's a whole lot of bits I've cut off. Similar to what we did on the Clio, just a whole bunch of stuff. Now if you really wanted to go to town, you could cut out this wheel well. A lot of people do. I'm not going to do that because we might want to run that surge system just in case we get fuel surge, so in which case you need to run it in an enclosed compartment. So we're going to keep that bracket I must still get off, and then there's a couple odds and sods that need to get done. So basically from here I am going to clean it up and basically get it ready to go to the cage, to go to the fabricator to make the cage. We might take the door cards off if there's no space in between the door and let's say the seat. So we're just going to kind of figure all of that out. So, but for now I'm done for the day. I'm pretty finished. So from here we're going to load this puppy up.
A few moments later.
Well, that's going to be a wrap for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. As you can see, we've got the car, the Ford here at Swartkops, and yeah, it was a bit of work, but we managed to get everything done. In the next episode we'll show you what the roll cage looks like. Obviously from here it's gone for the roll cage, and what we're going to do from here on out. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. It was a bit of a technical one, but we need all of them, and these are the steps that you have to go through to basically get it done. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.